What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to Surviving Bedrock. We've been a little busy down here. I had to come back down here because we needed a little bit of iron, and it sounds like we've got a thunderstorm up there. So let's try to sleep that away really quick. So we did a little bit of mining just to try to get some iron because we were getting very low. I think we were down to like a stack down here and maybe a tiny bit more up top. I found a few diamonds in the process as well. And one thing I found down here, we dug out a geode. Now, I didn't do this on camera because, well, it's kind of boring. But typically you find these in your worlds and you want to dig out and uncover all of these blocks with this X shape in the middle. These are the budding amethyst blocks, and these are the only blocks that can grow the crystals. And you cannot move them, you cannot silk touch them, but if you fortune the crystals, you get a whole bunch of shards. And these are made, these are for making tinted glass, as well as you can make calibrated skulk sensors, you can duplicate a lay with them. So yeah, we went and dug as much of this out. I think we got all of it. Kind of hard because it's exposed at the top there, and there's a water cave next to us. You know, you got to be very careful when harvesting these that you don't knock out the budding block. Because like I said, once those are gone, they're gone. You don't get them back. It was not the biggest geode, but it's pretty productive nonetheless. I'm always extremely cautious whenever I try to smack those. I want to make sure that I am not hitting the block, especially when you have a high efficiency pickaxe. It's very easy to break a block and then break the block behind it. But yeah, we've got this to get some amethyst shards, which will be really nice, and then we can make tinted glass and other things. And it's right here off of our main iron level tunnel, so also very awesome. I knew where that that geode was because you could see it actually from the surface. So let's go ahead and throw these in here. We'll let our iron did finish. We'll grab those. We'll bring those up top with us. And actually, while we're down here, one quick thing. You know, some of you may have thought that I forgot about this, but I didn't. I know we've got some diamonds here that need fortuned. Let's see if we can grab these up really quick. Oh wow, that is the worst possible luck ever. Fortune 3, guys. We got 3 diamonds.
Nope.
Fail. Epic fail. Okay. Anyway, we'll see you guys back up on the surface. And just to show you guys really quick, that geode is right there. That's the one that is exposed from the side of our cave. So not too bad. And I don't have to plummet down this hole to get to it. Oh, as I almost fall in. So we went ahead and we made up the wolf armor from the scoots that we got from the farm last episode. And we've got everybody dyed a color. We've got all the name tags for them all right in here. We're going to work on this and the house in just a second, but we have a little side project. And that's going to involve us running over by Rayth's area. I'm not exactly sure where I need to go over there, and unfortunately I have to leave my horse behind, and you guys will see why when we get over there. So we're up on the top of the mountains above Rayth's area. I'm not exactly sure where he said they were at, but we're looking for a skeleton horse. As you saw, you may have seen down by his area in a past time we were over here, he's already had some skeleton horses spawned, and he's already collected them. So he didn't want to mess with this one, so I said, hey, leave it for me. I'll play with it. It'll be a fun thing either on stream or for video. Now we just need to find where it is. I have no idea. But we will cut back in when we find it. Okay guys, we found what we are looking for. Here is the skeleton horse, also known as the skeleton trap. This is going to spawn the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, as we like to call it, as soon as we get within range. There's going to be a bolt of lightning. If you're not ready for it, it can really freak you out. I had one underwater one time that scared the bejesus out of me. But anyhow, we're going to try to rush in there all the skeletons are going to spawn with enchanted bows and enchanted helmets. They can have some other armor pieces as well. And we need to try to take them out quickly and not lose the horses. So let's do this. Don't shoot the horses. Come on, come on. Quit ping-ponging me around. Get him. Come on. One more. Got him. And that's how we do it, everybody. And some loot, some experience. We got ping-ponged around a little bit. They can hurt. Luckily, they didn't seem to have any strong enchantments on their bows. But now we just gotta gather these guys up and bring them back. And this will probably be more of a pain than it's worth, but as you know, leads are horrible on Bedrock. But let's do this. Getting these guys back here was a royal pain. And Mojang, please, for the love of all that is good, make leads better on Bedrock. You just gave Java a whole bunch of lead functionality, and their leads don't break anywhere near as much as they do on Bedrock. It's a horrible experience. Please fix it. Anywho, back to our regularly scheduled task today. So now that that project is all over and we're back over here by the house, we are going to grab our name tags and we're going to start naming our dogs, and then we're going to reveal the house build. So to start naming the dogs, we have got all Lord of the Ring themed names because we have 9 wolves. So we decided to go with the Fellowship of the Ring for all of our wolves. So we've got Frodo, Samwise, Merry, and Pippin, Legolas, Gimli, Boromir, who we had to put in black because, you know, he tried to take the ring, Aragorn, and lastly, Gandalf. All the wolves are now finally named, and then we can start on the house. So now, along with the Lord of the Rings themed dogs, we have got a Lord of the Rings themed cottage. Mainly, we're going to make like a Hobbit hole kind of build, but it's going to be a little more elegant than that. And there it is. Build's done. We can go home now. See you guys later. Thanks for watching the episode. No, I'm just kidding. This is a program called Structura, also from MaddHatter's website, which we will link in the video description. But this lets you build something in like a creative copy or in another world, and then you can take a schematic of it using structure blocks, and you can create this holographic texture pack, resource pack of it that basically puts all the blocks down. It's not perfect because it doesn't like orient the stairs properly. Some of the trapdoors may not orient correctly, but this makes it so you can go through the hard part of building something out in creative and then throwing a wire frame of it in your world to make it easier to rebuild it. Now, it's based off of Litematica for Java, but it has far less functionality, unfortunately, but that's just a limitation of Bedrock. But this is going to be really good for us to build this house. And we're going to show off how exactly to use this. The one cool thing about this is when you use an armor stand with this, as you change the position of the armor stand, it'll go layer by layer for your build. So we can go layer 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to the top. And it'll keep going, but we didn't have any more layers above this one. So, how do we make this? That's going to be the first question. And for that, we're going to jump over to our creative copy. So now we are in our creative copy of our world, and this was the house that we built in creative so that we could try to mock up what we were going to build. And it is not like in the right position or anything, but that's fine because the whole point of this was to get a schematic of it. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to use the command to give yourself a structure block. And then you're going to make a structure file of your build. So we want to make sure to encompass the whole build. And the easiest way to do this is to come out one from the corner on each side. You can always go a little bit over the size of your build anyway. Structure blocks can do up to a 64 cube. So as long as your build isn't bigger than that. Okay, so we've got this corner. I like doing the corner method. So let me just get a block really quick. We need to come off of the highest point. Come over this way. Build right about there, I'd say. And let's put our structure block. Like I said, it can be higher or lower, it's fine. We're going to select this to corner. And we're going to come back down to this guy. And I think if I do... Alright, leave it on save. If we detect... There we go. I'm not exactly an expert with using structure blocks. It's not picking up the floor, so we might need to adjust a little bit. But this will kind of show you a wireframe so you can make sure... Or not a wireframe, but like a little 3D model. You can make sure you've got everything grabbed. Do I need to go one higher? Let me see up here. Yeah, it looks like I'm missing some. So this is why it's good to play around with that and make sure you've got everything. Let's go 2 higher. Change this guy back to corner. And you can kind of see with this box outline if you're getting everything. Like, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to come one further this way. So I make sure I'm not missing anything. It'll update in a minute. The wireframe is still for the old. And we're actually going to put it out here. And we're going to drop it down. Drop down one more. I want to make sure to get that flooring. I shouldn't need to, actually. Let's leave that there. And let's detect. And for some reason, it's not picking up that floor. Got the whole top of the structure. Let me see. Why is it not getting the floor? There it goes. Okay, now we've got the floor. So we have to get the grass around it. And this structure is a little bit different than the one that I showed off in the real world, because I was playing a little bit with it when the new blocks came out, like the tough blocks and copper doors. But the bulk of the build is the same, and little stuff like that we can change as we go around and build it. But now we've got perfect structure here, and we are going to name the structure. We're going to do Hobbit Cottage 2, because we already have a Hobbit Cottage. And we are going to export the file. And we are going to just export it to our downloads. We have Hobbit House in here already. I think we renamed that when we built it the first time. Okay, so now we have a file. So what we're going to do, we are going to go to our Structura folder, and we are going to open Structura. Now we have Structura right here, and we are going to browse for the file that we just created, Hobbit Cottage 2. We're going to throw that in here, and now we have different, you can change the pack icon if you want. You're going to give it a pack name. This is what the name of the resource pack is going to be. So we're going to name it just as we did, Hobbit Cottage 2. Now you can make a list of blocks, which will save in a text document. You got advanced settings, which I don't usually mess with, but you can change how transparent the blocks are. You can make them more or less transparent. You can, I think there's an option in here to make it where it requires you naming the armor stand, so not every single, yeah, right here, name tag. This makes it so you have to name the armor stand with a name tag before it'll show the structure block, which helps if you're playing on like a server where there's a bunch of armor stands lying around. Now this is a resource pack, so you can use this locally. It doesn't break achievements or anything like that. So we're not going to mess with advanced right now. So we're going to unselect that, and we are just going to go ahead and make pack. And it runs the command here, and it makes the pack, and it throws that pack in your Structura folder. So we can close this out. And now if I refresh my Structura, we have Hobbit Cottage 2 right here. So if we leave the world, and we go into our global resources, and we're going to deactivate the one I was using, we are going to now import Hobbit Cottage 2. And then we will go to our settings, our global resources, go to my packs, and it'll be right on top. And we will activate that. And now if we go back in our world and we go somewhere other than where the house already is, we throw this down, you will see that the pack is broken. Oh, okay, so I haven't updated my pack for 1.21. And that's a problem, apparently, because 1.21 changed the name of some of the blocks. I remember MaddHatter explaining this in a video he just did recently on Structura. The pack that I had already created is fine, but since I created this pack after 1.21 came out, you see none of the terracotta blocks are showing up, and some, like the glass isn't showing up. Yeah, and the floor isn't showing up. It renamed a bunch of the blocks in the Minecraft files. And I remember MaddHatter specifically saying he had to update the pack and rename a whole bunch of stuff. So if you guys download the newest version of his pack, you won't get this. Unfortunately, this is a bad show right now, and I'm not about to go in and update the pack for this. But yeah, that if you ever make one of these and the blocks are not showing up properly, there's two options. You either need to completely re-download Structura, which is what I had to do the last time, or when you open Structura, if you hit update blocks, it'll run an update command. What we can actually try doing really quick, let's see if that fixes it. Oh, and I said before, you get a block list, so it gives you a notepad with all the blocks that are used and the quantities of them, which can be really helpful for getting your materials together for your build. No, it is not. So what I will actually have to do is I will have to completely re-download Structura. I'm not going to do that right now for the camera. This shows off how the functionality. You just need to download the newest version from his website, which I've said a few times now. I will link in the video description, because this is an excellent tool for building anything complex in your worlds. All right, so we are actually on stream getting ready to prep. We were getting all the materials for the house, and we're getting ready to start building it. And we were playing around with the copper for the windows. And when I built the structure for this, we didn't have the new blocks yet. So we actually put some of the tough blocks in as like the foundation. A lot of it won't be visible once we start placing the blocks down, like the stairs will cover it. But like this spot here under the window will be open, and this spot here in front of the doorway. So I wanted to like trace around the foundation in the copper. But what I decided we're going to do is we're going to mix in some of these new copper blocks. So the chiseled copper, we're going to put it in the corners of all these windows. So we'll keep the cut copper like this, and we'll put the chiseled in the corners. And I'm thinking we're going to go with copper doors for this. I think originally I had planned bamboo, but with the new copper doors, I kind of like, and I think it's going to work really well with the yellow. But when it comes down to this for Structura, if we crouch and hit the armor stand once, it'll go into the layer mode. So we can actually do, we've got some of our blocks ready for this now. So all you do is start placing. And I need some slabs. Do I have? Yeah, I have slabs. So what's really easy for this when you're building the house is you literally just trace around. Like I said before, though, oh, that's in the wrong spot. Like I said before, a lot of the stairs don't orient properly. So I gotta kind of, if I don't remember, which is, I built this a long time ago, I don't quite remember everything. I may have to either check back with my build or just see how these go as I'm putting them in. Like, I think that's how that's meant to go. It may be a little bit of trial and error, getting the stairs to turn the proper directions, but I think for the most part we'll have it. It's gonna go like that. For the most part, it looks like all the trapdoors are orienting properly, which is good. It's just the stairs that don't bend the same way as they are on the original build, and there's no real solution for that. You're kind of limited, but this is definitely a lot easier than trying to remember everything you built from scratch. So literally, we're just going to go around and trace these. and I can go layer by layer, or I can do the whole build at once. And we're going to probably do a time-lapse recording for building this house. So this is the finished project for the house. This is our Hobbit house, our Hobbit cottage. Some have referred to it as the Hobbit mansion from the stream that we built it on. I think this turned out really awesome. We've got all our dogs placed around outside. We'll move them in eventually. We still don't have any interior done with it. This will probably be a lot of a stream project. We'll get the upper floor and we'll get the trap doors here. I started laying them out like this. This is the pattern they're going to go on the inside, and it'll cover up all the copper and terracotta on the inside. We will be digging this backwards to expand as much as we need, and we'll move our storage and we'll make rooms for the dogs in here and everything. Yeah, we did some minor terraforming. A lot more of this will probably be stream projects. But we've got the terrain going up. I wanted to make it look like the moss was coming down off the mountain and then growing over the top of the house. That's why we did like the vines here, and we got the moss running down the side of the mountain. We came around and put moss carpet on top of all the blocks that were able to have carpet on them to add to the like overgrown look. Because, you know, Hobbit houses, they are kind of like tucked into mountainsides and hillsides, and they kind of have the nature incorporated into them, and that's what we kind of tried to go with this, with the vines and the carpet and the moss, and then it runs up the hill, and we added some of the azalea bushes as well. I think this looks spectacular, and we finally have a proper house to start living out of rather than living out of the tent. Now, we're not going to get rid of our tent. It's still going to stay there because that was like our starter area. And we'll clean up our furnace mess because we used that to smelt some copper for this. We'll probably be putting some kind of a super smelter in here soon. But I think for the next episode, we are really going to be working towards the nether because we are going to be doing the dragon fight very soon. So we're probably going to build our nether portal somewhere inside of here, so that we can start exploring that. But this is where we are going to end the episode for today. I want to thank you all for coming and hanging out and checking out this episode. We got all of our dogs in the background. This was fun. And if you guys aren't catching the live streams, be sure to catch those because we're doing a lot of fun stuff like this on the live streams. And if you have not already subscribed, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It will greatly help me out. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. So without further ado, my name is Aggro, and I gotta skate. Later.